boy.
Hello and welcome to the Play Traditions channel. My name is Kendra Moses, and as always, we have our resident Chef Kai off camera. So this week, I thought we should shift gears a little bit. I wanted to really introduce this course and this channel by focusing on the good. Because as I mentioned before, dated things have a way of getting knocked down as the years go by. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a devaluing system that we end up going along, and things that become archaic end up not having the same worth or relevancy in our day-to-day lives. So I have talked a lot about really lightening up the mood and the spirit of a tradition. However, I thought it would be right to talk about the other side of the whole good food, good mood motto, and cover the other side a little bit, or at least discuss about it. While I said that certain things like traditions get outdated and end up getting a bit of a bad review or bad rap, people do have their reasons for this, and their reasons can be rational and just. It's really not for us to make the decisions, but I have noticed that there are certain things that can make you turn away or shy away from certain things, and especially when it comes to food. Because unfortunately, sometimes traditions don't evolve, because the whole point of tradition, ideally for the average person, is something that is supposed to be kept alive. And basically, kept alive means just making sure it's still something that is practiced and not forgotten. Not necessarily something that's ever evolved or worked on a bit as they go along with the newer coming generations and the newer coming time periods, demographics, and everything else that involve how we end up going about our day-to-day lives and practicing our traditions and other things that we do to say, this is who I am. And that does happen, that a tradition can seem like a rut, where you have the feeling of this something, I just want to tweak one little thing, but it's virtually impossible, especially if it's really deeply ingrained in a group vernacular. And this could be your family, friend circle, whatever. Wherever your tradition derives from, if it's in a group setting and is very ingrained, it can be very hard to kind of break away a little bit or to even tweak anything. And these have a way of giving the whole good food, good mood vibe to its lesser known counterpart, and let's say the Moody Foodie. So this is a person who still has a deep reverence for food and trying things out and what have you, but you still have experiences with food that you just can't seem to break away from. You do everything you can, and you do everything you can in your own time period. And in that time period where you have the freedom and the right to go and do whatever you please, and you come back with a good response and a good experience, you're feeling the whole good food, good mood vibe. However, food can also put you in a bad mood. Talking about those food experiences that actually change your mood, and sometimes not for the better. And I want to focus on this for this path, because the whole good food, good mood vibe is basically predicated on how you enjoy your food. The basic generalization of that motto is basically predicated on you're just enjoying your food experience. Almost everywhere you're going, on almost every level. And it just makes you happy. It just puts you in a good mood. And this is not to say either that there is one group of people who do this versus the other. There are people who actually have traditions that they have been able to tweak and go about their lives with making sure they can have a good mood experience for as long as they possibly can, and as much as they possibly can. However, the way that we go about eating and gathering our food and our meals varies a lot over time. You can end up, even a home cook can end up having or finding themselves eating fast food, or going to, either a main chain or little diner, or having to visit someone's house, or having experience where the food could not be adjusted to their taste and the things that they actually enjoy or prefer. We all go through this. And so I thought it's only fair to mention the other half of this, because it happens for any different reason. It happens all over, and it can even be at places where you don't even expect. Their favorite restaurant, a favorite eatery, what have you, diner. It doesn't even have to be high scale. And it's a place that you like to eat. And you said you've tried almost everything on the menu, and everything on the menu makes you feel like just skipping out the door and having a great day. You said that meal has put you on the path for a whole rest of the day that is going to be absolutely perfect. Then you tried the very last thing on the menu. And so you expected nothing but the best. And why shouldn't you? This is your favorite place. They have never failed you once. And then one day, you try that last item, and nothing about it is right. Nothing. And you're asking your question, how could this happen? Why did this happen? And there's all things. It's even the most expensive thing on the menu. Why is this going on? This is doing everything to negatively affect your mood. And that's the thing about food, especially if you're a foodie. Yes, you want to praise it, you want to enjoy it. It's the most best thing ever. Even though everyone has a food item they don't like, we always focus on the positive part of it. And I'm not against that. That's what Plated Traditions is about, the positive part of it. But Plated Traditions is also about the whole experience of food and cooking and eating. So we don't talk about those moments where it just wasn't right. We mostly talk about these moments when you find a person who can't wait to get home to write that bad review about that restaurant, or you might even hear about them complaining while they're still at their booth or what have you. But the whole talking about that feeling that you can get when the food is not exactly what you were expecting. I can't say I know why we don't talk about those experiences, like in a calm, rational manner too. Doesn't necessarily have to be all-out brawls, or doesn't necessarily have to be pages long of bad reviews or online. But to have like a calm discussion about how food can actually affect your mood in more than one way. Because it can. It has a lot of power. Not only is it necessary for us to live and go about our day-to-day lives, it can actually have a great impact on the way that we act and feel. So much so that we do have a word called hangry. They've put together the word angry and hungry. Almost like a caution sign, a warning. You do not want to interact with that person right now. Not until they eat. Because you can't just really shove anything in a hangry person's face. No. I would highly suggest that if you want a good conversation or a good interaction with that person, you want to put something good towards them. Because there's nothing worse than being angry and hungry and then having to settle for something or have something thrown at you that you do not like. It's not going to help the anger, and psychologically it's not going to help the hunger. Physically your body might say, well, I'll take it. But the rest of you is still deeply in protest. And it's an interesting thing because it does have that power. It does have that effect and influence on us. We think about food influencers and all the many people you see cooking food. You even look at the food, it looks good, and it can make you feel good if you're fed. And if you said you could just suffice with just looking at that picture or that video. And it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with like 4 HD quality and the whole slow-mo of the the food and everything else, which it does work. It does. I admit that can, even that video or whatever it may be, can actually put you in a good mood. But would it put you in a good mood if you're looking at that, you're hungry, your wallet is empty, and your refrigerator is empty? No, you're still going to be very hangry. Very hangry indeed. And even something like a food-related video can actually change or exacerbate the mood you were already in. And it's something about the human mind. It's constantly doing things. It's constantly working and functioning for everything. It's something to think about. Food changing your mood either way. Because we do have those moments where we're forced to go to someone else's house. We're forced to eat at a group gathering, and there's nothing there that we want. And out of a state of respect and courtesy, sometimes we go ahead and eat the food anyway. And even through a grin, forced or otherwise, your body is not reacting well to the food, thus causing your mind not reacting good to the food. Because it all started at the taste buds and your mouth questioning you. Why are you doing this? Please turn away, look back. I see a napkin over there. Your mouth is doing everything it possibly can to say, I don't want this. But maybe, like I said again, out of a sense of respect, you swallow it somehow. And then it seems like it's just out of spite. It's causing havoc with your stomach. And it's not necessarily because you have any aversion, like physical, medical aversions to the food, but I guess that mental aversion to it can seem to cause physical manifestations sometimes and add to a very bad mood indeed. And so I think it's important to think about both sides of everything, because again, even with the good food, good mood vibe, that is still very questionable, because one person's good food is not going to be another's. So their good food, good mood vibe is going to differ widely from another person's good food, good mood vibe, because your good food, good mood vibe might put them in a very moody foodie vibe. And this can happen very quickly. And that's why I believe that sometimes conversations around food, especially when it comes to food preferences, get so passionate, because we're all looking at the food from our individual perspectives. And even though we all want the same cause and effect, we still want to be able to eat something that causes us happiness and joy. It has the effect of putting us in a good mood for the rest of the day. But like I said, the items in question that will give us that particular mood and that particular mindset will vary between people. And sometimes it's unavoidable. No matter what you do, it's unavoidable. Because if you're forcing yourself through gritted teeth and your voice getting a little bit deeper and you saying there's no way that I'm going to have a bad food experience, you probably will. And it's not to say it's going to be immediate. It's not going to say it's be out of spite. It's just that there's a lot of items on this earth that are edible, and that's considered as our food sources. And ideally, even the most traveled person ends up coming across something not native to their land or not native to where they're from, which of course that happens. This is a big This is a big, big earth. There's things all over the place, and some things grow in certain climates that don't grow in others. And so there's all types of possibilities of you not only including or encountering something that you've never seen before, never had before, never tasted before, but you're encountering something that could affect your mood either way. Just want to acknowledge the fact that it happens, and it's okay. It might not feel okay to you, because sometimes those bad food, bad mood experiences happens at a pretty penny. You never imagine everything else that you love was a acceptable price, or it was acceptable to you, at least because you love it. So what's a few extra dollars, a few extra cents? But when you don't like something, it seems like a complete waste. And sometimes it just seems like, even if you didn't have to pay anything, your mind is calculating a way that it costs you something. Monetarily, your soul, your pride, your dignity. It depends on how vibrant a person you are, how these adjectives will go, or where these things will come from, that everything that was taken from you. And it happens. It really happens. There's not much to say about this, but it's still worth mentioning, I think. Sometimes we come across things that just don't work out. And they don't necessarily work out because we messed up a recipe, or because somebody else messed up a recipe either. It could just be because you just don't like their style of cooking. You just don't like their style of cuisine. Or you just don't like the particular type of ingredients that gets used in this type of cuisine. This is a good time to really think introspectively. And use that word a lot, I know, but this is the whole mission of Play Traditions. The best way to keep the traditions in a good standpoint with the individual is for them to look at themselves and see what works and what doesn't for them. So if you find yourself having conflicted moods, there's probably a good inclination, if nothing more, because if you're not sure exactly where it's coming from, just pay attention to the course of your day. If you had a perfect day, or you had a run-of-the-mill day, a day that you've gotten complacent with, and then all of a sudden, something gets interjected, like a bad meal, some bad food. And while it didn't make you violently sick, have an allergic reaction or anything to it, it's just, imagine nothing tasting that bad. And whereas this is a very personal thing, because somebody else could think, oh, it's the best thing ever. And you feel like you're in two different worlds, even though you might be even sitting at the exact same table as them. It just seems like your side has gotten cloudy and dark because you're not enjoying yourself, you're not enjoying your meal. And they, over there, seems to have sunshine and birds and flowers and everything that you feel like you should have experienced, you should have been having, but is a barrier. Now, the barrier doesn't have to be against that person, but you realize that that's something that's not part of your enjoyment. So I'm hoping that you all will just get into the mindset of knowing what works for you. If you're having a moody foodie day or moody foodie moment, that's not going to be for you. So like I said, I just wanted to have a slight discussion. There's really no right or wrong, no deep facts to really impart on you all. I just wanted you to think about how a mood can end up being affected even by something which you might deem to be as simple as what you eat. And to give credence and the knowledge to both of them, because the whole good food, good mood vibe, while great, the whole moody foodie vibe can also give you a good insight on what exactly you don't want. And that can help increase your overall experience. At that moment, yeah, it sucks. When you don't like something, it sucks. And especially if you had to pay money out for it, especially if your time was wasted, and you were somewhere you didn't want to even be anyway when you ate it. I know all of these things happen, and it sucks. But from that moment on, you know exactly what you don't want. And that can increase the whole value of your overall experience when it comes to your plate traditions. Whether you call it a plate or tradition or not, that is what we're all here for, to have the most enjoyable experience, especially when it comes to eating. That's the biggest thing that you look for, and rightfully so. So this week, we are inviting you all to share those moody foodie moments with us. So this is your time to either call in, tell us an anecdote. This is your time to slightly vent about that bad food, bad mood moment, or the moody foodie moment, if you will. So feel free to share those stories with us. So we have our first caller on the line. So what would you like to share with us about your bad food, bad mood moment, or your moody foodie moment?
Hello, Kendra. I'll tell you what bothers me. It bothers me while I'm in the kitchen and people just come on in while I'm cooking and just disrupt my whole flow. That really puts me in a bad mood. Luckily, it never comes through the food, but it really do put me in a bad mood. And sometimes it gets so bad, I swear I break out into a musical, and not one of them fast and cheery ones either.
Who's that on the phone? Is that food ready yet? What is this? What the hell are you doing in this kitchen?
In the heat where the flames ignite, I stand strong through the darkest night. You won't break me with your endless strife. Take your chaos, it's not my life. You keep pushing, but I won't bend. This is my space, don't need a friend. Get the hell out of my kitchen. Can't you see there's no permission? Fire burns, it's my ambition. Rise with me, make your own mission. Shouting orders, you think I'll comply, but my spirit says I'll never die. Rise like smoke above the strife. Kick you out and reclaim my life. I'll scream loud, let my power show. You're in my way, it's time to go. Get the hell out of my kitchen. Can't you see there's no permission? Fire burns, it's my ambition. Rise with me, make your own mission. This thing around, there's no doubt. With every heartbeat I scream out. Get the hell out of my kitchen. Can't you see there's no permission? This is my stand, there's no doubt. With every heartbeat I scream out.
Get the hell out of my kitchen. Can't you see there's no permission? This fire burns, it's my ambition. Rise with me, make your own mission.
This is my stand, there's no doubt. With every heartbeat I scream out. This is my stand, there's no doubt. With every heartbeat I scream out. This is my love, there's no doubt. With every heartbeat I scream out. Get the hell out of my kitchen. Can't you see there's no permission? Fire burns, it's my ambition. Rise with me, make your own mission. This is my stand, there's no doubt. With every heartbeat I scream out. This is my stand, there's no doubt. With every heartbeat I scream out.
With every heartbeat I scream out. With every heartbeat I scream out.
Kendra, I'm sorry about that. You still there?
Yeah, Abigail, I'm still here. Thank you again for joining us for another week. We hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.